Good Wednesday morning, everybody. We're back in the truck, ready to do another video for you guys. I got to pull it forward after I pre-trip it and clean the bugs off the windshield. I was sick yesterday and somebody else ran the truck, so it's all full of bugs, so I got to get that cleaned off. So at least we start the day with a bug-free windshield. Don't know how we'll finish up, but 3 loads today, Red Barn down to Fogelsville, so we'll talk to you along the way, but we got a few things we got to do here and get going. Alright, so we're rolling on out. It is exactly 12 noon. We got the Red Barn location today, so I don't know what it's going to be like when we get there. We'll talk to you and when we do load, so I'll let you know at that point whether I had to wait on anybody or whether I got right in or not. But one of the things we do is we share trucks with a night shift and slip seat with weekend part-timers, and this morning was a case of why I don't like doing that. It took me almost all the way out to the end of this road to get this seat right and the mirrors right, because I'm one of the shorter and smaller guys in the company, and so everybody else is bigger than me, so they got the seat all the way back, all the way down. Everything is all out of whack and discombobulated. It takes me forever to get back to my comfortable driving position. So I absolutely abhor the idea of slip seating. And so a bit of a frustration right out the gate this morning, trying to get everything right for my comfortable zone of driving. Let's see, we got nothing coming from the left, nothing coming from the right. Easy out today. Wow. Usually got to wait for somebody, so that just kind of took away the edges, some of the frustrations of trying to get into the right seating position to drive this truck comfortably and safely. But so that was pretty good. But yeah, like I said, I just really almost hate being in a slip seat situation. I mean, it is what it is. Truck makes more money having it run around the clock, but it just, unless you get somebody that's a good partner, a clean partner, and one that's kind of the same size that you are, so you don't have to keep moving everything around every time you get in the truck, it's a bit of a pain. Alright, so nobody was here, so we were able to get right on to get loaded, which is always nice. Last video I showed you, we had to wait a full half hour for the guy that was ahead of us, because I had gotten here right as he was finishing hooking up, and when I went inside to see how far along he was only at 500 gallon in on an 8,000 gallon tank, so it took a while to get loaded, so we had to wait, and then we had our 20-minute load time, so all in all it was well over an hour, so or about an hour between the two trucks, so it was about an hour that it took us to load here. In this case, it's only going to take us about 20-25 minutes to load, and then we're going to be out of here. So our owner-operator was here, but he's going over to Reading, so he's not going to be in our way. I'm not going to be in his way. So I may have this place pretty much to myself this afternoon, because most of the day shift guys are already in. I think one of them's about to come in, and one of them's going to be out yet. So he may come back for one more, but I think we'll be long gone when he gets back here. So should be a day without any kind of truck conflicts, at least on this end. I don't know about down the other end. So we'll find out when we get down there. They said it was running good, so we should be in and out down there too, unless something changes. Well, we are coming down the hill down here to my favorite right-hand turn and left-hand turn on the occasions that I got to do it. And I've got an Amazon van, or it's an Amazon Prime van behind me. I'm sure he's not happy with me right now, but I got to follow the rules. 15 miles an hour down this road. The lady in that house that we pass all the time, if we go faster than that, she'll call the boss and complain that we're speeding down the road. So the guy behind me just gonna have to get over it. Let's hope I can get out of here. Nothing's coming at the moment. All right, we did it. Yeah, some of the locals understand because they know the rule, but guys like that Amazon Prime driver, obviously, who knows where he's from, he doesn't know the rules that we got to follow going in and out of that well. So he's probably stewing behind me while I was going so slow, but ain't nothing we can do about it. Got to stay out of trouble. You know, I don't want to be getting yelled at or possibly even thrown out of the well where I couldn't go up there to load. So got to follow the rules no matter what the people behind me think. But anyway, climbing the blue, taking the first one down. I'll talk to you a little more along the way down. All right, so moving right along, we just went past Northwestern Lehigh High School down here in New Tripoli. Caution is to be exercised down here when we turn off at 309 on the Route 100, because a buddy of mine drives a triaxle dump truck, and he told me that they're doing a couple of paving projects down here. A couple of the side roads on either side of Route 100 are getting blacktopped. I guess the township is the one probably contracting the job out. And I did see where the one road was milled out so they could make the edge flush from the old blacktop to the new blacktop. So I don't know where the paving train is. It could be right along the road or near the road, or it could be back in somewhere where we won't see, but we'll just have to watch. I don't know if there's going to be a flagman here stopping traffic if the dump trucks are close, because when you do hot mix, the paver's pushing the dump truck ahead. So if he's paving right to the edge of the intersection, he'd be pushing that dump truck out on the 100 here. So we got to just kind of take her easy. This first road down here is one of them that they're blacktopping, but I don't see any equipment around, so might have a clean shot. But I think they're doing one on the other side too. Got this one to the right, and you can see it's milled out. Did they do any blacktop in there yet? No, not yet. But you can see the black tire marks from the dump trucks driving on the tack, and then they dragged that tack out onto the roadway a little bit. So they must be back up in there paving. I don't think they're down here on the other road. All right, we're here unloading. There was one here when I got here, but he's done, and we got it all to ourselves now, but we were able to get started right away. Lights are on, so going to be a good day in that respect. Added a load on to me, though. I thought I was going to have a 3 and out short night tonight and get to spend some time with the wife after work, but they added a Redding on to me, so I got a 4th load, which means I won't get back till about 10 o'clock tonight. And by that time, she's either fully asleep or halfway asleep, and then it's kind of hard talking to her, so so much for that. We got 4 loads now instead of 3. 3 of them down here, which we're doing the first one of right now, and then 2 more, and then we got to take one from the other well over to Redding. So it's money, so the extra load give us a little bit bigger of a paycheck. So going past Northwestern Lehigh High School, if it weren't for the smoky wildfires that are up in Canada and that smoke drifting down here in the upper atmosphere, we would probably have some beautiful blue skies today, because it is a partly sunny, partly cloudy-ish type day, but the blue part of the sky is almost milk white, a very milky, pale blue, and that's because of the smoke in the upper atmosphere. And even a little bit of it seeps down because the mountain has a bit of a haze to it. Not as bad as a couple of days last week, but we haven't seen any blue skies in quite a while now. So it's not gray and raining. Even the sunny days are kind of a muted sun and a white washed out sky, because the clouds would have a lot of definition to them. You see the white puffy clouds up there, but they almost blend right in with the sky behind them because of that smoke and haze that's up there. So it's a nice day. It's warm. It's 85 degrees. I mean, no complaints on that part of it, but yeah, just not those nice blue skies that you can sometimes get. And down there where I was telling you about the flagmen possibly being out and stopping traffic on Route 100 to let trucks out from that paving project that my buddy's working on. When we went down, those flagmen weren't there, but now coming up, there were 2 guys there waiting, and there was 1 triaxle coming out. I didn't see the paving train, but there was a triaxle, empty triaxle coming out. So by the time we go down, we may see some action there. I don't know for sure, but yeah, it's a beautiful day, really. It just got a hazy look to it in the sky. All right, loaded up the second one. We got here just in time, and the other driver was just turning off the road and going up the mountain when I got here. We did have another driver in here getting his last load of the day, so we won't have to worry about him beyond this. We got one more we got to get out of here, but there shouldn't be anybody in our way when we come back for that third one. At least there shouldn't be. Watch somebody make a liar out of me and there'll be somebody here, but anyway, we are loading up this second one. Nobody was in front of us. It was a nice day out. If you look over my shoulder, nice farmland up there. There's even a bunch of cows grazing up in the field. I don't know where my rooster buddies are. I don't know where my kitty cat friends are. None of those guys are around here, but the cows are up there in the field. But yeah, all in all, nice day so far. Hope it stays that way. We'll see when we go down if that paving train that I was telling you about with my buddy and his crew are going to be down there getting in our way or not. But otherwise, all good so far. Well, the absent-minded professor strikes again. What a dummy I can be sometimes. Not too often, but every once in a while, you have a brain fart moment, and I just had one. I hooked everything up, went inside, filled out the bill of lading, entered everything into the computer, took it out to the truck, did my truck paperwork, came back in, grabbed my Slim Jim snack and ate that, and then I did my recording, and I went back inside to have a seat, and I'm wondering why it's still showing 8,200 gallon on the meter. I'm thinking, oh, okay, the previous driver didn't, sometimes we have to push the emergency stop to stop it, because it doesn't always stop when it's supposed to. It usually does, but every once in a while it'll just kind of keep going. And so you push the stop button and you pull it right back out for the next driver. And I thought, oh, the guy forgot to pull the stop out. So I go to pull the stop out and it's out. And then I look and I never started it. So, so I was here about 10 minutes doing everything I needed to do and never started the loading process. So we're loading now, and I figure, oh, well, now it just gives me a little more time to get some sun on my milky white legs. But my God, if I would have sat out in this chair right from the start, I'd have been sitting here for a long time waiting for that thing to load up. Yep, here they are. I figured they would probably be right down here. Now, are we going to be the ones to get stopped? We got quite a gap here. It looks like a triaxle getting ready to go up and in. Put the 4-ways on here. Now, what we're doing here, there's a flag man on the other side, but there is not one on our side. Oh, there he is. Oh, it's a PennDOT project. I thought that was a township road, unless PennDOT is the one doing the traffic stoppage. But yeah, there goes a blacktop triaxle up and in. There's a little paver there. As I said, they were probably going to be at some point down here at this intersection. Can we go through, or what are we doing here? Is he gonna wave me through? Yeah, he's waving me through. Okay. Yeah, nobody gave me a word, so... Oh, I used to like blacktopping. I used to do that about 15 years ago. I ran a triaxle, and we did construction and hauled stone and gravel and hot mix asphalt, and I like blacktopping. It was a little on the dirty side, but I still enjoyed doing the job. And sometimes I miss it. If I could find a way to get back into it, I would. But yeah, look at the traffic back up. Like I said, I had a feeling at some point today there was going to be a flagman situation there at that intersection. Alright, so we're done unloading the second one and making our way out. And since it is 3:30, Now I gotta watch this guy string trimming here, but at least he's on the other side of the guardrail. I kind of saw the grass clippings here, so figured I'd have to be careful that these guys are doing their thing today. Since it is 3:30, we are going to exit stage right, and then right again, and then right again. We're not gonna try and make that left turn and come out up there by Yako's hot dogs, because I think it's going to be a difficult endeavor. I mean, there are times where it works out, but a lot of times you have to sit and wait either at this stop sign up here or at the next left before we cross the railroad tracks. So it is just easier to take the longer way around at this time of day. And I know I tell you that every time I do it, but with a monotonous run, that's all you can do is kind of talk about the same things over and over again. So the last time we did this, it was out and out downpouring and you couldn't even see up the road. All right, see, now we'd be waiting on that four-wheeler who still didn't come out. That gray four-wheeler that was waiting there to make a left, he's still sitting back there. So we'd have to wait on him. We're already moving here. And if we get lucky, we can get most of the lights green going up 100. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but sometimes we get pretty lucky and don't really sit all that long. We get this one up here green, or at least we get the right turn arrow and get out right quick, and then get up through the traffic lights up there to Tillman Street in fairly quick order. So, well, let's see what happens before we shut the cameras down. See if we start out in good shape or not. That's the roll of the dice, is getting this first light here. And it looks like we might, because I see them coming across. The other side of this road gets the green light first, and then this side gets it. They don't both go green at the same time. So by the time we get up there, this light may be green, or almost getting ready to go green. And there it is. It just went red to green. So we are most fortunate here to be able to just roll right on out. And like I said, sometimes we have to sit through these lights up here, or sometimes we get through them pretty quick. But either way, it's less of a headache than trying to make that left and go the other way at this time of day. Not with everybody getting out of work on their 3:30 shift change. So onward and upward. We got one more to bring down here, and then we're going to head over to Reading after that. All right, paperwork, computer work done. All right, so we're loading the third and final one out of this location, and yes, we are loading. I did not brain fart it a second time. I can't believe I forgot to turn the pump on and start loading. That is so funny. Like I said, if I would have sat down in that chair and decided to soak up a little sun for the 20 minutes that I was loading, I'd have been sitting there a lot longer than 20 minutes wondering why this truck isn't finishing up. Oh, man. Oh, well, we all have those moments once in a while. That was mine, and I should be good for a few more weeks anyway. But yeah, that was too funny. But yeah, we're loading up this third one to take down to Fogelsville, and then after that we'll go over to the other location, and then we will load that one up for Reading. So far it's been going pretty good tonight. The only slowdown was down there where my buddy's doing that paving project there on off of 100. So we're doing pretty good tonight, and the weather is nice, and Can't ask for much better. Now by Friday we're going to go back into a rainy pattern for the entire weekend again, but we're going to get a couple nice days here before we go back into the slop. All right, so we're unloading our third and final one here at Fogelsville. From here we'll go up and grab that load to take over to the Reading plant and deliver that one. And much to my surprise, I wasn't expecting to see anything in my rural-ish travels today, but there is an ICE Trump protest forming up there at Tillman Street and Route 100 intersection. I'll have to show you it as I drive by when I leave here. I saw one or two guys standing there on my last load when I went up empty to get this load, and coming back down there must have been about 6, 7, 8 of them there holding signs. I don't know if it's going to grow and get larger or if that's going to be the extent of it, but we'll show it to you as we go northbound, but we won't be coming back down here, so I doubt it's going to be a violent protest like the ones out in LA and some of the other cities. It'll probably be peaceful. They're just holding signs and trying to get you to honk your horns, but makes me wonder if I'll see anything on the way down to Reading, but I doubt it because that plant's not in Reading itself. It's north of Reading, but I was surprised to see one out here. It's pretty rural. If you're going to see a demonstration or a protest, I figured I'd see it in Center City, Bethlehem, or Allentown, not way out here in the countryside unless you're trying to get the truckers' attention. Well, now, I don't know where they went. They were on that southwestern corner there, where the traffic light post is and the walk light. And there was at least 6 to 12 of them there, but they have since dispersed. Now, I don't know where they went. It was a rather brief protest. I read the signs. They mentioned about ICE and all that stuff, but I don't know what happened to them. I certainly hope the cops didn't tell them to leave because, I mean, constitutionally, we are allowed to protest. And as long as it doesn't get violent, then there's nothing wrong with people holding up signs trying to champion their cause, whether you agree with them or don't agree with them. That's the right. Everybody has that right to protest their government. Just don't get violent. Don't start burning buildings and burning cars and assaulting people and officers and whatnot. And as long as you don't do any of that kind of stuff, protest away. I don't care. But I hope nobody gave them the boot because that's wrong. But they were there when I came down, and they dispersed rather quickly unless they moved to a different location. I don't know. Interesting. Well, we're rolling back up north, going to get this other one. I'm surprised the traffic isn't worse. Usually it's a fight to get these 2 lanes merged down into one here, and that was pretty easy. Easier than normal, for sure. Now we got the Applewood light here red. You can see there's a lot of traffic, but for some reason that was just the easiest merge that I've ever had down here at this time of day. When you're an off-peak hour, it's easy to come up and just get into the right lane and do what you need to do, but at this time of the day, these four-wheelers, they don't want to be behind you going up these hills, and they think you're loaded, so they do their very best to try to get around you. I'll just put it that way. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes they do some stupid stuff. But yeah, they don't want to be around a big truck. They don't want to have to crawl up this hill, and then there's a couple others along the way, as you all know, and they'll do anything they can to get in front of that truck. All right, loading up the 4th load of the day. This one's going over to Reading. We're down here in the township. I don't know what the municipality is. West Penn, East Penn, North Penn, South Penn. I don't know. It's some kind of township out here. We're right on the border. But this is where we're loading this one up and taking it over to Reading. That's the one where we got to test it ourselves. I would love to show you that process. I don't know if there's anywhere I can prop this camera up. And I did not bring my baseball cap along, so I can't do hat cam, so I don't know when or if I'll be able to show you that process of testing that we do. Also depends on if there's somebody over there. But yeah, we have to manually test it ourselves. We have to test it for turbidity, for pH, total TDS, total dissolvable solids or whatever, and then the temperature and all that good stuff before we can unload it. So most of the other places have an inline test where it draws a little bit of water in, tests it, and if all's good, then it ramps the pump up and pumps the rest of the truck off in about 20 minutes. But over there, we have to test it ourselves before we can actually unload it. All right, almost to the customer down here, let's see, between Leesport and Reading, I believe. Coming up on 222. This is 61. This is 222 interchange up here on the other side of this traffic light. I was hoping to get this traffic light green, but this one isn't the one that's of main concern. It's the one up there right after we cross 222, go over the overpass. That's the light I like to keep green so I don't have to stop on that hill. Right now it looks like it's red. Cars are stopped there. It is. See if we can slow her down a notch and get that light to turn green before we get there. Oh, maybe. When that arrow turns yellow, that means it's going to turn green for us. All right, we timed it out pretty good. There we go. Yeah, this is a hill I don't really like to stop on if I don't have to. I mentioned that in one of the other videos when I was coming down here. It's not an undoable start out, but it's just better if you can kind of keep a slow roll or be able to get the light green outright and not have to come to a complete stop. Now let's see. One car coming. I think we've got it after this car. Yep, we can make the turn. So we are here. This is still public road. This is not the customer's road yet. Up there by the building is when it becomes the customer's road. So once we get to the building, I'm going to ditch this seat belt here and show you how we have to get this turn down here. You have to get it just right and drop those tires into that pothole like I was telling you guys about. So you got to kind of take it wide. You got to get it just right. I mean, if you don't get it just right, the hose ain't going to reach the truck. That's why I like, this is silo 1. I prefer to unload in silo 2. Yeah, you got to nose up into that corner, but you can push it back and it's easier to line up and get it where the hose is going to reach the truck. This one takes a little bit of finesse. And if they ever blacktop this parking lot and take that pothole away, we're going to be in trouble because we won't know where to put the back of the truck. But you got to get it close, but you don't want to hit them yellow posts either. It's kind of messed up. So you've got to kind of be good at what you're doing. And there we go. We are in. All right, so all the testing is complete and we are unloading. Everything was good and in spec, so we were able to start the pump and we're unloading, putting it in silo 1. There's 3 silos back there. You got silo 1, silo 2. I don't know what's in silo 3. But we never run into a problem with bad water, so I don't know what happens. You got to call QC out here, and I don't know if they do some deeper testing or whatever they do to see if they can take it or not, but never run into that problem because the water's always been good. But one of these days I gotta try and set this camera up to show you what we do in there. I don't know, maybe I'll bring the hat cam in, but one way or the other I'd like to show you the actual testing process, but I didn't do it today, so we'll do it another time when we come over here. But we are unloading. I'm not sure how far along we are, probably getting close to being done by now, so once we're done, we'll button her up, lock everything up, and be on our way back north and to the yard. All right, we're done and rolling. We are looking right into the sun. Holy moly. Maybe we should have got done just a little bit later, but we won't be looking into the sun going up 61 here. Well, we got some traffic coming. Looks like 1, 2, 3 cars. And we'll be able to get out. Traffic really thins out on this road once you get past 6 o'clock. As you can see, it's very light. And you come down here between 2 and 6 and it's pretty heavy. But anyway, we're done rolling back. All we got to do, like I said in the last clip, was top this thing off with night shift guy. We definitely got a night shift guy. He's starting tonight. He's going to run 12 midnight to hopefully about 11 o'clock in the morning, so that this truck's back when I get back, when I get in to start my day. But I don't know. His last delivery time is 10 a.m., so it's going to be a push for him to get this thing back by my noon start time. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it goes the way I want it to go. I don't want to be sitting at the yard waiting 45 minutes, an hour for my truck to get back. Then I'll be starting an hour late, and that means either finishing an hour late or dropping one of my loads, because it'll create a snowball effect. If I bring the truck back late, then he starts late, and then he gets back later, and then I start later, and then so forth and so on. Before you know it, we're starting at 2 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. So we'll have to see how it goes. It's another reason why, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't like sharing trucks, because you're kind of got all kind of constraints on you. You got inconveniences with adjusting seats and mirrors and whatnot. It's just a pain. You can't leave your stuff in the truck. Anything of any kind of value you want to take home with you, unless you really get to know your partner and he's a good guy or gal. Kind of got to take your stuff home with you, you know. So I am not a fan of the slip seat truck sharing situation. Not at all. I like my truck. I know it's not my truck. I don't own it, but I'm assigned to it. I like my truck to be my truck, that I can keep the way I like to keep it, and leave stuff in it, leave some tools in it. You know, sometimes there's little things I can fix or repair by myself out on the road and save the mechanics a trip out or road service. I mean, I can wrench on a few things. I'm not totally illiterate when it comes to truck maintenance. So there's some things I can do myself, but I'm not going to carry a toolbox yet on top of it. I got enough stuff to carry in and out of this truck every night. So, and I was wrong. We are going to be driving into the sun here, all the way up through Leesport. But all right. Anyway, that's pretty bright. Probably brighter for me than it is for you guys. The cameras compensate for it, but yeah, that's pretty bright. And the sun visor just isn't quite long enough to work. So we'll just talk to you later on, back at the fueling stop, back at the yard, somewhere along the way. All right, that's it for today. We're parked, we're done. I want to talk to our other driver. She's here. She knows about my videos, but I'm gonna go talk to her for a little bit, then close my paperwork out, do the post trip, and head on home. So we'll talk to you in the next one.